Global War Files. Mid-December did not bring a pause to the fighting. Instead, it revealed something far more subtle and far more consequential across Ukraine's northern and eastern fronts. While most eyes remained fixed on headline events, dramatic missile strikes, and political speeches, another story was unfolding quietly on the ground. Russian forces were advancing not through spectacular breakthroughs, but through calculated, patient pressure in places that rarely dominate the news cycle. The liberation of Visakoy in the Sumy region and Svetloyer in Donbass was not dramatic in scale. There were no sweeping armored columns racing forward. There were no sudden collapses. Yet these movements mattered deeply. They were part of an operational plan shaped by artillery, drones, coordinated fire support, and disciplined maneuver. They represented intent, strategy, and the cumulative effect of pressure applied over time. For months, Sumy had been viewed as a border pressure zone rather than a true battlefield. A place where skirmishes occurred, surveillance drones buzzed overhead, and occasional artillery duels took place, but not somewhere decisive. That perception is now changing. Reports of heavy clashes throughout the region indicate a shift from sporadic harassment to structured, sustained operations. The real question is no longer whether Sumy matters, but why it matters now. Small villages like Visakoy and Svetloyer may look insignificant on the map. A few dozen houses, narrow dirt roads, fields stretching toward tree lines. But modern warfare has repeatedly proven that control of such settlements can shape entire operational corridors. Visakoy lies near routes used for troop rotation and movement along the semi-border area. Holding it gives Russian forces better observation of Ukrainian logistics. It allows artillery systems to deploy with greater safety, and it creates opportunities to disrupt supply lines before they ever reach the front. Svetloyer plays a similar role in Donbass. Its capture contributed to the slow erosion of Ukraine's defensive depth. Instead of smashing through defenses in a single strike, Russian troops continued grinding them down, belt by belt, forcing Ukrainian units to retreat, regroup, and rebuild again and again. Every village taken narrows Ukraine's operational space. Every fortification lost stretches manpower thinner. This is the logic of attrition, not blitzkrieg, and it is reshaping the battlefield. The groundwork for these advances was laid on December 17th. That day, a Russian BM-21 Grad multiple-launch rocket system struck Ukrainian defensive positions and engineering obstacles in the Sumy region. The Grad is not new. It has existed for decades, yet it remains one of the most feared weapons in modern conflict. Its power lies not in pinpoint accuracy, but in volume, saturation, and timing. When a Grad battery opens fire, entire sections of terrain are engulfed. Trenches collapse, communication lines snap. Troops are forced into cover, losing coordination at the very moment they most need it. In Sumy, the Grad strike targeted obstacles designed to slow an advance, trenches, barricades, fortified points. With drone guidance providing real-time target correction, even this legacy weapon has evolved into a modern shaping tool. Instead of guessing, artillery crews fire based on live information, adjusting instantly. This was not a random or isolated attack. It was the opening move in a broader plan. 2 days later, on December 19th, Russian pressure intensified. Artillerymen from the Tula-based Guard's airborne formation, fighting as part of the Sever group of forces, struck a concentration of Ukrainian manpower along border positions in Sumy. This time the weapon was different. The 152mm Giatsint B towed howitzer. Where the Grad blankets areas, the Giatsint B delivers crushing precision at long range. Its heavy shells are ideal for suppressing troop concentrations, destroying artillery, and collapsing hardened shelters. The fact that such a system operates within airborne formations shows how much these units have changed. No longer are airborne troops simply light infantry meant for rapid insertion and limited engagements. Increasingly, they function as combined arms formations, capable of delivering sustained artillery support while maneuvering on the ground. In Sumy, that meant Ukrainian defenders were struck not only in their trenches, but in the very assembly points where they gathered, reorganized, and attempted to hold the line. On the same day, far away on the right bank of the Dnipro River in the Kherson region, a D-30 howitzer destroyed Ukrainian UAV command post. At first glance, this might appear unrelated. A different unit, a different front, a different tactical situation entirely. But the thread connecting these actions becomes clear upon closer examination. UAV command posts are the nervous system of Ukraine's defense. From them, operators direct reconnaissance drones, correct artillery fire, guide FPV drones, and watch every movement across the front line. Destroying such hubs does not simply eliminate equipment. It blinds the network. Without drones, artillery becomes less accurate, logistics become riskier, and commanders must make decisions with incomplete data. By striking in Kherson while pressing forward in Sumy and Donbass, Russian forces demonstrated their ability to apply synchronized pressure. This simultaneity forces Ukraine to stretch manpower, ammunition, and attention across multiple fronts simultaneously, a difficult task even for well-supplied armies, let alone one already dealing with fatigue, shortages, and rotation challenges. On December 20th, the focus shifted from destruction to disruption. FPV drone operators from the Novorossiysk-based mountain airborne formation targeted Ukrainian troop rotations in the Sumy region. Rotations are among the most vulnerable moments in warfare. Soldiers are tired. Vehicles are exposed. Command structures are temporarily unbalanced. FPV drones turn these moments into ambush zones. A single strike can destroy transport trucks, wound key personnel, and delay replacements by hours or days. The effect goes beyond damage. It creates uncertainty. Roads that once felt routine suddenly feel deadly. Every pause becomes dangerous. Every movement requires extra caution. And when rotations stall, units are forced to hold positions longer than planned, increasing fatigue and tension. This sequence, rockets, artillery, nodal strikes, and drone disruption, set the conditions for the gradual liberation of Visakoy and Svetloyer. By the time ground troops advanced, Ukrainian defenses were already weakened, coordination fragmented, and morale under pressure. There was no dramatic charge, no loud declaration, just steady movement forward as positions collapsed one after another. This methodical approach reveals how the war itself is evolving. Early expectations of rapid breakthroughs have faded on both sides. Instead, victory is increasingly measured in endurance, in who can sustain pressure longer, coordinate more effectively, and adapt tactics to new realities. The fighting in Sumy sends a deeper strategic message. The northern border is no longer a quiet rear zone. By activating pressure there, Russian commanders force Ukraine to divert manpower away from Donbass and the southern front. Every battalion defending Sumy is one less battalion available elsewhere. Meanwhile, in Donbass, the capture of Svetloyer further compresses Ukrainian defensive depth. Each retreat requires new trenches, new obstacles, new supply routes. Each withdrawal increases strain on logistics and morale. Over time, the cumulative effect is substantial. What stands out most is the balance between old and new military technology. Systems like the Grad, the Giatsint B, and the D-30 remain central to operations, but they no longer fight alone. Drones provide eyes. Digital communication provides coordination. Real-time targeting links every